Hello, my name is Shannon Allen. I'm a psychology doctoral student at North Central University, and today I'm here to talk to you about successful aging. Today's presentation is going to briefly explain what old age actually is by reviewing the physiological and cognitive changes that take place. Then we're going to look at some models of successful aging, and finally, we're going to discuss things that we can do to help us age successfully. So first, let me give you a brief explanation as to what we in the developmental sciences consider old age. So old age is a bit of an arbitrary term. Some believe old age begins at age 60, and others believe that it starts when you retire. But since the experience of aging is more dependent on factors such as biology, psychology, and sociality, it is sufficient to say that we all age at different rates, and therefore it is difficult to assign a particular number to old age, especially given that we are living longer than any time in history. So from the perspective of developmental sciences, I'm going to explain old age from a physiological, health-related, and cognitive perspective. Once we understand what old age is, then we can learn how to do it successfully. Okay, let's discuss some physiological and health-related changes that take place as we age. I'm 46, not quite what science considers old age, but still, I'm already noticing some differences in my skin, larger pores. I'm starting to see some wrinkles and creases here and there. I have a few gray hairs. The shape of my body has changed. I've lost approximately a half an inch of height. I'm not quite as strong as I used to be, and from time to time I wake up sore. It also takes me a little longer to get moving in the mornings, and I'm a bit clumsier than I used to be. Maybe you can relate. Old age is also associated with reductions in smelling, tasting, hearing, and seeing, and heightened sensitivities to pain, temperature, and touch. And we may also experience function reductions related to our organs, such as our heart and lungs, and the systems they interact with, such as our musculoskeletal system. Lastly, we tend to be more susceptible to illness and disease and the physiological impacts of stress and physical exertion. While most of these declines are inevitable and somewhat uncontrollable, factors related to your lifestyle, such as healthy nutrition, exercise, and engaging in intellectually invigorating social interactions, can at least possibly delay some of these declines. So, our cognitive abilities, such as memory, are influenced by both our biology and culture. We call the biological processes of cognition mechanics, and the cultural influences pragmatics. The mechanics of how our brain works involve the accuracy and speed by which we process information. Pragmatics refers to what we have learned throughout our lives, such as writing, reading, and language. So it is how our mechanics and pragmatics interact that determines the strength of our cognitive abilities. As we age, our mechanical abilities tend to decline. However, our pragmatic abilities seem to stay the same or even decrease well into early old age. So as our cognitive mechanics decline, our cognitive pragmatics pick up the slack. However, as we enter old age, say around 85, our cognitive mechanics seem to decline to the extent that our cognitive pragmatics cannot keep up. And this is when we see the most significant losses of cognitive abilities. Now, I know I've painted a pretty grim picture of aging as a series of losses and declines, but let's look at how we can make the process of aging fulfilling and successful. So, how do we determine if someone is aging successfully? Well, there really isn't a single measure to assess successful aging, but rather different approaches present different criteria and within different life domains. So today I'm going to explain the most common models, and that's the biomedical and psychosocial theories, as well as some lay views. The biomedical theories define successful aging within the context of increasing life expectancy while decreasing mental and physical decline and disability. So, the biomedical theories measure successful aging in terms of the non existence of chronic disease, low risk factors for chronic disease, overall good physical health, and high levels of cognitive and physical functioning, performance, and mobility. Now, this doesn't mean that to age successfully that you need to function at the same level as you did when you were in your 20s or 30s. And some disease and illness are expected as we age. So, the MacArthur study, a well known study on aging, categorized aging into two categories: usual aging and successful aging, rather than diseased and normal. The study described usual aging as the average decline in social, cognitive, and physical functioning that are negatively influenced by external factors such as poor eating and sleeping habits, too much alcohol intake, smoking, and so on. Successful aging was described as minimal age-related declines in cognitive and physiological factors that are positively impacted by external factors such as healthy eating, good sleeping habits, and the absence of health risk behaviors such as smoking. So, in summary, the biomedical theories view successful aging as the absence of illness and disease, the preservation of cognitive and physical functioning, and active participation in life, such as maintaining social support and the ability to make your own decisions. Now, there are some weaknesses with the biomedical theories. First, they fail to include the beneficial influences of mental well-being. And second, they fail to consider that the total absence of disease and chronic illness is unrealistic in the older ages. While the biomedical theories emphasize the role of physical health and functioning, the socio-psychological models explore factors such as personal growth, life satisfaction, and social participation and functioning. Successful aging is a product of how you develop over your life course. So, successful aging within the context of personal growth is the ability to learn and grow using your past experiences by using the knowledge you accumulated over the years to cope with current situations. In terms of life satisfaction with both your past and present, successful aging includes high morale, positive moods, the achievement of desired goals, determination, emotional and mental strength in the face of adversity, and enthusiasm. Lastly, social participation and functioning within the scope of successful aging include positive and mutual relationships and interactions, being able to engage in new social activities and environments, and high levels of social participation. In summary, from a socio-psychological perspective, successful aging includes a sense of control over your decisions in life, independence, high levels of self-worth, practical coping skills, and effectively adapting to new situations and circumstances. So, the lay views on successful aging, taken from a survey conducted for 50 and older individuals, were more inclusive, and they included social, physical, psychological, and mental health resources and functioning, having a sense of purpose, life satisfaction, financial security, productivity, spirituality, having a sense of humor, physical appearances, the ability to learn new things, positive contributions to and interactions with society, retiring in a safe place with a lot of community resources and facilities, and your accomplishments. The most commonly reported factors of successful aging were good overall health and functioning. Now let's discuss how to age successfully in terms of activities and characteristics that you can easily adopt or modify that will hopefully enhance your overall well-being and functioning. The areas that we're going to explore are physical activities, cognitive stimulation activities, nutrition and diet, alternative and complementary medicines, social engagement, and positive personality traits. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends that older age individuals try to engage in moderate physical activity at least 30 minutes per day for 5 days per week. And this is why. Multiple studies have found that moderate physical activity slows cognitive and cardiovascular declines and decreases the likelihood of psychiatric illness such as depression. Some great physical activities for mobile adults are walking, water aerobics, dancing, cycling, and some lawn activities such as raking. For immobile adults or adults with limited mobility, chair exercises such as lifting small weights or doing leg lifts, even perhaps with some light leg weights and head rolls, are great for maintaining or building muscles, increasing flexibility and range of motion, and improving blood circulation. Resistance bands are also great tools for chair exercises. However, always consult with your physician before starting a new physical fitness program. With regards to improving and maintaining your cognitive functioning, researchers indicate that engaging in cognitively stimulating activities for at least 6 hours per week reduces the risk of dementia and improves cognitive functions in those who already have dementia by maintaining and strengthening your attention, perception, memory, processing speed, and reasoning skills. Some cognitively stimulating activities that you may enjoy are reading, crossword puzzles, board games, card games, jigsaw puzzles, arts, crafts, painting, and drawing. There is some evidence that obesity increases the risk for dementia, so nutrition and diet play an important role in not only cognitive functioning but physical and mental wellness as well. Restricting caloric intake has shown promise in enhancing longevity. According to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, individuals 60 and older should strive to consume 1,600 to 2,000 calories per day, depending on your activity levels. For example, if you're not very active, aim for 1,600 calories per day. If you're moderately active, try to consume around 1,800 calories per day. And if you're highly active, aim for 2,000 calories per day. As far as what type of foods to eat, the Mediterranean diet has been associated with decreased cognitive declines as well as reduced rates of depression. The Mediterranean diet includes more polyunsaturated fats than unsaturated fats. Some polyunsaturated fat sources include oils from olives, fish, and nuts like walnuts, hazelnuts, and almonds, and cooking oils like olive oil, canola oil, and flaxseed oil. The oils from these foods have a protective effect on the cardiovascular system. The Mediterranean diet also includes a lot of fruits and vegetables like figs, peppers, eggplant, beans, blueberries, grapes, tomatoes, broccoli, spinach, chickpeas, and lentils. Some other healthy Mediterranean foods are oats, brown rice, whole wheat bread, and couscous. You should also try to eat fish like tuna, salmon, mackerel, herring, sardines, and lake trout at least twice a week. Foods that should be consumed moderately are poultry, eggs, milk, cheese, and yogurt. And you should limit red meat only to a few times a month and in small amounts. And lastly, you should also restrict sweets to just a couple times a week. And again, be sure to consult with your physician before starting any new diet. Let's take a look at some alternative and complementary medicinal practices. Yoga and meditation both increase positive moods and attitudes. Yoga, when practiced at least twice a week, has also been found to decrease fatigue, depression, anxiety, and stress, while improving your sleep quality and overall well-being. Here are some examples of yoga poses designed just for older adults. You can find more of these pose sheets at liveyogalife.com. Or I will have some handouts available after the presentation. And again, I must add, always check with your physician first. Meditation, another popular form of alternative and complementary practices, has been shown to improve attention and focus, memory, the processing of new information, the ability to quickly shift your attention, and managing your emotions. This is even true for individuals who are suffering from neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So here's a few beginner's tips on how to meditate. You can start meditating for 2 minutes per day and work your way up to 10 minutes. It's best to meditate first thing in the morning, and don't get too consumed in how to do it. Just find a comfortable position to sit, lay, or stand, and check in with yourself. Ask yourself how you feel. Are you tired? Are you stressed? How does your body feel? Then begin counting your breaths. Count 1 as you breathe in and 2 as you breathe out. Try to do this to 10 for as many times as it takes until you feel relaxed. If your mind begins to wander, just start counting at 1 again to refocus on your body and its sensations. When negative thoughts and feelings arise, stay with them. Notice how they make you feel. Then start with your feet again, except this time relax them and work the relaxation up your body. When you're done, smile. Be proud that you stuck with it. And remember, this is about getting in touch with yourself, your mind, and your body. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. Before we discuss social engagement, let's define it. Social engagement is making emotional and social connections with family, friends, and your community. Social engagement is associated with higher cognitive functioning, overall happiness, developing better coping mechanisms when dealing with adverse events or situations, and fewer incidents of depression. Some activities that can help you increase your social engagement are participating in community events, volunteering, or joining clubs. Our local retired and senior volunteer program offers quilting classes, weekly crafting classes, nights out at different local restaurants, couponing classes, a walking club, field trips, fundraisers, and a lot of volunteer opportunities. Transportation is provided. All you need to do to find out more is contact RSVP at 540-382-5775. I've already briefly touched on some personality traits associated with successful aging, but let's dig a little deeper. So a study was conducted where 60-plus-year-old research participants were asked what personality traits they believe were related to successful aging. And the most common answers were adaptability, resilience, and optimism. More specifically, being able to adapt to disability lowers the incidence of depressive and post-traumatic stress symptoms. Similarly, resilience and optimism were related to longevity. Other traits, such as altruism and compassion, have positive impacts on psychological well-being. So the ways to strengthen, adopt, and maintain these traits is through social engagements. I want to thank you all for attending, and I hope you were able to take away some valuable information that will help you age successfully. Before closing, I would like to leave you with some local resources. Again, the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program can be reached at 540-382-5775. The New River Valley Council on Aging can be reached at 866 260 4417. And the New River Valley Senior Services can be reached at 540 980 7720. The New River Valley Council on Aging and the New River Valley Senior Services offers programs like congregate meals, delivered meals, homemaker services, legal services, medical transportation, respite care, insurance, and financial counseling and planning. New River Valley Community Action can be reached at 540 921 2416, and they offer a wealth of services such as home repairs, clothing, food and home supplies, disability services, and leisure services, just to name a few. Again, thanks for attending and have a wonderful day.